Hello everyone, my name is Chitranjan Upadhyay and I'm back with another interesting ML project. So, in today's world, we are being surrounded by lots of information as well as misinformation. And the aim of this project is also the same to detect that misinformation, actually fake news. So, let's jump to my screen and build a model which will predict the same. So, here I have collected the data set from Kaggle. So, our first step is done collecting the data set. So you'd find in the description box the same CSV file, fake CSV file, true CSV file. So what does that mean? So one CSV file is having fake news and one is having the genuine news. Okay, so I'll import the same. Let me run the necessary libraries. I'm trying to make this project easy but effective. I don't want to make it full with a lot of jargon, NLP jargons, deep learning jargons. We'll try to solve it in the easiest way but effective way so every one of you would get it. Okay, so true. Let me import it pd.read csv true.csv fake pd.read csv fake. So true.head. Let's see what is the content in the table. What are the columns? So you can see title, text, subject, date, index as well. So one more thing, I want to create a column like a target column, which will signify that this table is this content, this data is for true, as in true, as in genuine news. So let me do one thing, true. Let me create a column for the true.label equal to 1. Same for fake label equal to 0. Great. Let me check if I named the table correctly. Fake, fake, true, true. Yes. And I would show you even the same. True.head is this. Yes. Now the second part, I would concatenate or merge these two tables row wise. So let's merge them and let me name that as news. And row wise. So x is equal to 0. Right. True. You can see the tail as well. Yes. Now the thing is, let me check whether there are null values or not. Data pre-processing part. There are no such. Plus, let's do some feature selection. Uh, for this project, I don't need to have this title column, this subject column, this date column. So let me drop them. Subject, date. Okay. One more thing, it is better that this data set is looking very organized. First, fake news are coming, then true news are coming. So I need to reshuffle it. Right, you can see that true news is at the bottom and the top part is fake news. So it would can create our model to be biased. So for that I can do one thing, news is equal to news dot sample. Okay, for that frac is equal to 1. So it will take entire data and just going to reshuffle it. Let me show you that as well. Right, but I believe you can see the problem with this. Let me put it here as well. Reshuffling, shuffling. Okay, and what is the problem with it? This index, the first row is coming as this, so I just need to get rid of this, or let me do that. Something about this news is equal to news dot reset index. Okay, in place equal to true. Dot head. Let me just check. So guys, you have seen after reshuffling, there is one problem. You can see the first row is coming with this number and second is with this number, which is kind of ambiguous, confusing. So let me do something about it. Let me reset the index and news dot reset index, because it returns nothing, none type. So just do not assign for that reset index function. So take care of that thing. What does it return? Okay, like append function, it returns none type, nothing. Same like the print function as well, append print reset index. So yeah, news dot head. Let me show you what would come now. So this is data pre-processing part, a lot of thing we are doing now. One more thing, index is being resetted like 0 1 2 3 4, but this index column is again creating the problem. So let me just take this off with drop. Okay, drop index comma 1 place equal to true, I believe. Yes. So now my data is almost prepared. Now I am having relevant column, only two columns, text and label, and it is shuffled as well. You can see the first five rows having some true news, genuine news, as well as fake news. So first part, data selection, data pre-processing is done. Second part, actually first part was data collection, second is data pre-processing, data feature selection is being done. I've cleaned my data. I have take care of the respective column, the relevant columns. And now let's come to the second part, feature extraction. You can see I have the text column. Okay. And for our ML algorithms, it is better that we have numerical column. Agree? It can read the numerical column better. It numerical data better, not the text data. So I am going to convert this into numerical vectors, actually, TF-IDF. And why this technique I'm using? Because here some words are important as well, contextually, to make the machine read the text and get a meaning out of that, or get the context of that. There is a relevance of some words. Getting? So I with this TF-IDF technique, I would assign some weight to some words. Right? Let's see this. And plus, before that as well, I need to change my text. Like there are some capital letters into running into small letters, like running letters, running way, and punctuation. I have to replace the punctuation. I have to replace uh, any HTML tags or links. So for that, I would also create the a function. So primarily, this part of the video would be focused over this text column, how to make it more readable by the machine. Okay, so let's go to into that. So to convert this text into readable or easy form, I would import the RE module, regex, regular expression module in Python. So let's move for it. Let me define a function for this. Okay. Likewise, here I'm using lower. Likewise, I would use this is just to convert into lowercase, right? Lowercase. Similarly, I would use to remove the punctuation on all, or let me say remove URLs. So with regex, with this module, what we do, we have some patterns. Okay, we have some matching patterns, and with that we can uh, recognize that pattern, and we can use some regex function like replace, like anything like delete or something, replace, sub we generally use. Okay, like find all, like search. So we, in the big context, in the big text, we have a pattern. Say for example digits, we want to search for the digits, find the digits. So with regex we have some meta characters patterns. We, according to that pattern, we just apply to our text, and it find those patterns, search that pattern, replace that pattern, can perform various functions. So I would use the documentation here, refer the documentation. You don't need to memorize anything, you just go to the documentation like I'm going, and this is the only way. And for the other part of the function I would just copy it. Okay, so don't worry. So text is going to that, re is the regex module. Sub is for substitute, to replace. Okay, so replace what? So uh, see, return the string obtained by replacing the leftmost non-overlapping occurrence of the pattern in string. Same, right? So I would pass in the raw string form, and the context, let the pattern, let me see, regex pattern, raw string form this. So I don't want you to get scared. You might be thinking what is happening. It's all in the documentation. So this is a pattern for any URLs. So then what comes? www, www, then comes dot, then comes the any sort of the statement plus. So I need to replace this with nothing. Nothing as in just this, right? And it would substitute if we had text. So it's done. I believe it's done. Same for HTML text I would use, same for digits regex, same for this. So let me do one thing, let me copy it and make it easier here. True. So this function, now here it is taking care of punctuation, here is taking care of digits, here it is taking care of, here you can see that new line characters. So new line characters is being getting replaced with space, digits are getting replaced with nothing. Okay, so removing, it's just I'm removing digits, I'm removing punctuations, various sort of punctuation, comma, semicolon, which would make our text easy, and I'll show you that as well. So this is the function I've created. Okay, so now let me apply this function over my data, and which is news, which column? News, text. Okay, so news text dot apply what opt text. Great, now you can see all the words in this column are in running letter, and plus you cannot see any numbers, digits, or so far punctuation. Okay, So it's being changed. My text column has been changed or become easy for the machine to know to go for it. Okay. Now the thing is, after this, I would first of all let me define x and independent variable, and then I'll go for to convert into vectors. So x would be news text, and y would be news label. Right. Let me do one more thing. Let's divide into training test data and then convert into vectors. So from skill learn dot model selection import train test split. Okay, so here I have divided the data into training and test, like on the basis of 30%, right? You can see this x trained shape and x test shape, right? And check with the news shape. So I've divided my data into training and test data. Okay, yes. So let me go to the next step, which is here I would create that text which is in the my x train data into vectors or number, because machine algorithm or these algorithms would get the numerical data more clearly. So second feature would be second now the next step would be feature extraction, where I am going to convert that into numerical data, right, or vectors of numerical data. Now we have training data, test data. Now the second problem is we have to convert that new textual data into numerical one, and for that I am going to use a class called TF-IDF vectorizer, so which would create the vectors out of that. So let's go for it. From sklearn dot feature extraction dot text, this package import TF-ID, create TF-IDF vectorizer, and let me create this a class. Let me create a instance for that, TF-ID vectorizer, and now let me create the vectors for the training and the test data, x data. For training and text data set for x, yeah, independent data set. So my x data set is sort of a text data set, categorical. So I'm converting that. I believe there is no spelling mistake. So it would take some time, but it would be done. Yeah. So here we can see how it got changed. Okay. So sparse matrix got created. Great. Now it's not being the big data full of the text and categorical data, words and all. Instead, it's a small data having it's a small sparse matrix being created of numbers, right? You can fill it class num5.float. Great. So now my next task is to create the ML model. I would use some ML algorithm for classification and thereby create my ML model, which would predict whether it's going to be fake news or genuine news, and I'm going to train that model, that algorithm over this data. So let's go for that and start with logistic regression. So guys, let's start with logistic regression. My first classification algorithm for that, my first model for that. So from sklearn dot linear lr. So I've imported logistic regression. Thereby I created an instance of that as well. Then let me just train my model with my data or my data. Yes. So fit uh, xv, what was the data? Train and y train. So let's wait for some time. Okay, great. Then let's see. Then let's evaluate with the score and all. Let's see the prediction. Lr is equal to lr dot predict. Okay, xv. What was the data? Xv test, right? I believe yes. The name is correct. Then we can go for a score. Lr dot sco score, and it is for xv. Just a minute. Xv test test, right? And let me show you the classification report. Okay, so with respect to the x test data, my score is this. Let me go for the classification report and check how close is our prediction, and y test to what is our prediction, lr, excuse me. So this is my classification report for logistic regression. Let me use other ML models for this as well, other algorithms. So I'll go for decision tree classifier and do the same thing. It's not a big deal. Okay, same I'll do with the then I'll use an ensemble technique, an ensemble algorithm, random forest, or say for example gradient boosting classifier, and do the same. And thereby I'll create a function, I'll create a predictive model by which any random data set would get predicted by uh, these different algorithms. Okay, so let's go for that. Great. So let me go for the decision tree classifier. Okay, So I have created an instance for that as well. Now let me just fit my or train my model over my data. So that is xv train and y train, and once it's got fitted, then I'll predict, and then I create the classification report for the same. It will take some time. So it is taking some time. Meanwhile, I'm writing the following code, and I would run all of them at once. So yeah, it's being trained. So this is the prediction. This is going to be the score, and now over my test data and classification report, print classification report over my test and my prediction data. Prediction over my test and prediction target column. Yes, target values, target variables. So this is the result of my decision tree classifier algorithm, this model. Now let me just use another model, other algorithm, which is the more reliant one, which is ensemble technique, just to get rid of this overfitting and all these problems as well. Okay, so let's go for this. Let's try to improvise it with random forest classifier. Okay guys, so from sklearn, let me create the instance for that, and then let me train it as well, like the same I was doing. And yeah, over my data, we train, y train is being trained, then I'm going to predict. It will take some time. Meanwhile, I'll write the following code. Score so let's wait for the same. Okay guys, so it's being trained. Now I can do the code which I've written while it was training. Same. Now let me go just one step more and take one more algorithm, one more model, gradient boosting classifier. Okay, same is, you can try it yourself as well. I would do the same stuff again. I don't want to write everything. Yes. Then GBC, an instance I would create for the same. And yes. So now let me train my model over this data set, and it would take again some time. So just hang on with me. Okay, so now it's been trained, our gradient boosting classifier model, and now I can do the same and print the classification report. So guys, you can see with different algorithms I have done the work, and now I can create a predictive model for which I will create a function, and our data would go, any, any input data, any input text or news would go to that function, that model, and it would able to predict whether it's a genuine or it's a fake news. So let's go for that. Okay, great. Okay guys, so far we have seen various ML algorithm. Now let me create a predictive model by which, if I input any news or article to it, it would able to predict whether it's genuine or fake. So for that I would create a function I had created almost. So let me show you. Def, okay, so if n equal to 0, then return a fake news. Fake news. Elif n equal to 1, return it is a genuine news. Okay, great. So I'll put another function over here which I've already written. So I'll directly just copy it. Okay, and we'll go for it. Great. So let me take news, some news article, and then would go likewise. Okay, so let me copy a news article as well from somewhere and check its genuinity. So this is my news article. Great. And let me just put it under manual testing. So you can see this, it is a fake news, it is a fake news, it is a fake news. Great. So even I took that article as a fake news. This, if you go to the link, it is a fake news. So thereby my model is able to predict it clearly that it is a fake news. So guys, I believe from this project you would learn a lot of things. I try to make it easy. Even the code I use, very consciously easy code, so that you'll get into it. But if you want again end-to-end project, we can deploy it to the website as well and make it more put more complex things into it, because to actually detect whether a content is fake or genuine, it involves lots of nuances as well. So let me know in the comment box how you like it, and thank you. Bye bye.